जय गौर भक्त वृंदा। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानजानशालाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितमेन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताकस्वामिनिति नाम्नि नमः। आचार्यपदाय नताय कृपाप्रदायिने गौरकथा दामदाय नगर ग्राम तारिणे नमः। विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नाम्नि नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Before we go, okay, Adi Leela, chapter 3, what verse is it?
353, Mataji.
Because Ashri Jagannath Prabhu did yesterday.
Yes,
Abhay
Mataji,
Prabhu?
chapter 3. Yes, Mataji, chapter 3, verse number 53.
53.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Okay, before that, we take shelter of is divine grace, Bhakti Vinod Thakura, whose disappearance date is, and also Gadadhar Pandit, both we will see, and we need to meditate on their, on them and their contributions, and we need to take shelter of them. So before we proceed, we will hear a little about Bhakti Vinod Thakura and Gadadhar Pandit. So Bhakti Vinod Thakura, he is the beginning of our, this whole movement of Krishna consciousness after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's leaving this world. Then we had next 100 years, 200 years, devotees were there, exalted, very good devotees. Then after Baladev, Vidyabhushan and all, they left. Then there was a kind of lull in Krishna consciousness. Somehow there were no great devotees, and the Sahajiyas and all became more prominent. And so Vaishnavism was almost like hardly there, especially Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's about all knowledge about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not even there. As Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhaktivinoda Thakur had to really go search to get a copy of that. So that is how bad it had become. Nobody was following properly. Imagine after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and he left behind such vast knowledge and about bhakti and all the scriptures, it went into oblivion for 300 years. And it was Bhaktivinoda Thakur who revived it once again. And he was, at that time, there was British rule. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left, it was Muslim rule, Mughal rule. And now this was British rule. And so Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was born in the village, rural setting. His grandmother, father's mother, she had started a school, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur studied there. And then after that, he was educated in Calcutta. He went with his uncle, who was involved in English literature, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur also. He was very good in writing, so he contributed many essays and writings for magazines and so on. And at that time, there was Rabindranath Tagore, the Bhadralok, as they were called. These are the people, anglicized, westernized Indians. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur had association with such people also, Mayavadis. Rabindranath Tagore and all are impersonalists. And so initially he was in this kind of setting. But still his heart was always, his writings, and even at that time, it was always philosophical and, devotion to God. So very, even at that time, whatever he wrote was very nectarian. And then after that, he was looking for Lord Chaitanya's this thing, because Vaishnavism, because originally he, so that is when he looked out. After much difficulty, he found Chaitanya Charitamrita, and that is how he started doing devotional service and so on. And then he had many good responsibilities in his job also. Actually, he started as a teacher, school teacher, and his first wife died after 1 year only of marriage, and they had a small child. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur married again, and her name is what? Bhagavati Devi. She is a very nice devotee, very wonderful devotee. And so they had together 13 children. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, even in spite of being so responsible, very busy person, and he did so many devotional services, his whole day was packed with all kinds of services. He was also a trustee of the Jagannath Puri temple, and he met many Vaishnavas. He wrote books, and so many people came to talk with him or consult him like this. His day was packed with activities, but still, he was also a very good family person. I mean, he had 13 children, he had to give time to them. And he found time for them also. Of course, they were all very exalted beings, but still, you have to give time to your wife and children. And he made sure he did that also. He was a very good husband. We know when she was sick and all that, he used to take great care of her. So, like this, very ideal householder. But he had come with a great mission to revive Vaishnavism. And so he prayed to the Lord, please send me a ray of Vishnu as my son, so that he can help me in propagating Krishna consciousness. And we know that the Lord answered his prayers by sending Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And together he would assist. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was an ideal son, and he would assist his father in so many ways. And later, of course, he continued the work of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And in the parampara also, he, in this thing. So, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur, so this, for some time, he was posted in um, Jagannath Puri for quite some number of years. And from a teaching job, he shifted to or rather, he was posted as, a judge, magistrate. And that job also he did. I mean, at that time, for an Indian to get that, even a magistrate, was a big thing. Because anything of responsibility was taken up by the British. Every Indians were just peons to be attendants for them. Clerks or Brahmanas were also all clerks only. They never gave them any positions of authority. But in that milieu, Bhaktivinoda Thakur becoming a magistrate itself was in acknowledgement of his, they recognized his good qualities. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote such beautiful books. In the beginning, it was in the form of, all kinds of things he's written. He's written verses, he's written songs, he's written, what do you call, what do you call them? Essays, and he's written drama, uh, like that. Or one book is just conversation, like, Jaiva Dharma. It's a conversation between the knowledgeable person and a person who's inquiring from him. All different, very, very revolutionary. And you can see that his heart is there in reaching out, so compassionate to, give out this Krishna consciousness to everyone. And so when he was a magistrate, he was very good in his job, that whatever would normally take a person many days to settle some this thing, even complicated cases, he would finish very quickly because of his Krishna consciousness, because he was, he is, of course, Nitya Siddha devotee. It's even mentioned his eternal name, eternal position also was known, Kamala Manjari. So he was, but still, I mean, that is there, but he acted like an ordinary person, just for our example. And because his sadhana was so good, whenever he used to go, so in the court cases, he used to quickly, do the hearing and come to a decision. And whatever decisions he gave, they were never challenged in a higher court. So, like this. And at that time, he also was a person with a social cause. He was very angry with all these cheating God men who claimed to be God, God by the day, every hour when new avatar was coming and cheating the public. So there was one, this, what Baba? Mm, um,
Falgu Baba.
Falgu Baba, yes, Falgu Baba. So he was claiming himself to be Vishnu, and people were worshipping him, and he had a little some mystic power. So by that, certain things they would get, and so people, wanted to follow him. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur wanted to expose him. And so when he was doing that, the Falgu Baba threatened him, "You dare not do, otherwise see what happens to you and your family." And Bhaktivinoda Thakur didn't care. "You do what you want. I'm going to expose you." And so at that time, actually, because of his mystic powers, Bhaktivinoda Thakur fell very badly sick. And like he used black magic to do on him, on his family members, all were sick, lying. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, "I don't care. Even if we die, I'm not going to stop trying to expose him." Because he was cheating so many people, claiming to be Vishnu. So then then he realized that all these, these mystical people, yogis and all that, they kept their Shakti under, the hair. It is connected. Actually, the hair is quite important even for everyone. Because all these hair, nails, and all that, taking that, people also can do something on us. That's why when Guru Maharaj, he sometimes, he used to, in the morning time, he would be combing his shika and all that, and then some hairs will be there. Once we asked Guru Maharaj, "Please give us in the beginning, why do you want, what are you going to do with it?" He was very careful, because you can do some bad things also. But anyway, he trusts devotees, so he gives. But so the hair is where, all these spells and all can there. So be there. So he has stored all his Shakti in the hair. And so he told the British, this police and all that, to catch him and chop off his hair. And when they were trying to catch him and trying to chop off the hair, all sparks started coming. And then finally, they just completely tonsured his head. And after that, he became so weak and he died. So this was Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He was not only a Vaishnava, a very humble, very sweet Vaishnava, but he was also very, very bold. And he took up social causes and, challenged. He wanted to set right things. He fought against the Brahmanas who were claiming that Vaishnavas are less than Brahmanas. They wanted to keep their position high and say that, bhakti is, not on the topmost thing, because Vaishnava is, anybody can become a Vaishnava, but then they said that Brahmana only is the supreme. And so he wanted to go and challenge that. And then, of course, Bhaktivinoda Thakur wanted to go, but he was sick and then he sent his son. And then he, of course, completely smashed them. So like that, in so many social reforms he was doing for the Brahmanas not to be so proud, and to establish Bhakti Yoga as the topmost thing, and also about against all these god men and Sahajiyas also. There were many Sahajiyas who were Aula Baula Karata Bhajana, and there is a big Guru Maharaj recites it like a shloka, the list of all these Sahajiyas, Tudadhari, Namadhari, like that, different types. Gauranga Nagari, each one having their own style, brand of Vaishnavism. And all why Sahajiyas? Because they took devotional service so cheaply. It was not taken as a science, not based on Shastras, but just sentimentally, whatever they wanted. Gauranga Nagaris, for example, they called Lord Chaitanya as Gauranga Nagara. Nagara means for Krishna only, they say Nagara means one who is like, enjoyer of women. Now, where is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He never even looked at a woman in his life. Okay, before he took sannyas also, he was very sober. He never talked with girls and all that. All his this thing. He used to, as a small boy, he used to rag girls, give all the whatever you're offering to Krishna, to Shiva for getting a nice husband. You give it to me like that as a small boy. But after that, he never. There was no chance of his having any flirtation. I mean, he never had anything like that. A lot of girlfriends and all like Krishna. So they happily invented, because he's Krishna himself, they said he's a Nagara, and then they started dancing with gopis. So like this, Sajias created a big, disturbance. So he smashed all that and he established the pure Vaishnavism as given by Lord Chaitanya. And he is the one who discovered also this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birthplace. He took a lot of trouble to, through going through the, archaeological thing, did a study, getting the map and all that. He spoke to all the people living in Navadvip, and like this, he also by bringing his guru Jagannath Das Babaji in the basket and to confer for confirmation, and he jumped out of the basket and he danced in ecstasy. So he knew, yes, this is correct. This is the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we're very grateful to him for that. And the most important contribution of Bhaktivinoda Thakur is congregational preaching. He, wanted everybody, this concept of every house, they should all become devotees, not only just a mata and where some people become devotees and all just just visit the temples and go back. He wanted this chanting and Krishna Katha to happen in the homes. And so he was the beginning of of Bhakti Vriksha movement, because it was not just Namhatta where somebody gave a class and then people kept coming and going. He made it a very, hierarchical system. He called it Namahatta. Hatta means marketplace. So the marketplace of the holy name. So he's always very innovative and a very creative, revolutionary person. And he said that, just like in the, in a marketplace, there are different types of people who are doing the job. There are salespeople, there are retail shops, small retail shops, then there are supermarkets, market like this. There are different levels of shops, all selling some products, but here, shop for selling holy name. So he said that, there are these door-to-door salesmen also. So like that, we have the preacher who goes door to door, invites people and gives them. He is the one with whom we become familiar with the product. So he talks about holy name, inviting you to the house. And so they have home programs like that. And then you have higher preachers, in the sense those who know, more senior preachers, they go also visiting to different programs and bigger programs like that. And then a bigger, even much bigger, and then the temple like that. So he had this hierarchy of devotees, and he himself, and also to run this marketplace. And there are, the storekeepers, and then you have the head of the marketplace, and then the storekeepers and the sweepers, like that. For the entire preaching movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave designations to everyone. So he said Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur. I said they are the topmost, they are the storekeepers. And he had different, I mean, that we should go through. I've forgotten a little, my memory is hazy about this Godruma Kalpatavi, which is written, translated from Bengali. Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote it, and by Guru Maharaj. So maybe we can see that afterwards, how wonderfully he said. And it is under their mercy only the whole preaching is going on. And for himself, he took the menial position. I'm the sweeper. Why sweeper? What does a sweeper do? He takes away all the garbage, all the dirty things, so that the place can, thrive and all work can happen. So he said that I'm removing all the unwanted things. And so he called himself a sweeper. And in the whole marketplace, what was being sold was holy name. And what is the price for buying that holy name? Just like you have silver, gold, and all that. I mean, according to what you're buying, he said that according to our faith, we purchase how much of holy name depends upon, our faith. Faith is the coin of a denomination. Like if you have a little faith, just, okay, I will chant Hare Krishna. But then we chant Hare Krishna as a pious activity. Then you are just paying some copper nickels and buying. And then you have a little more faith, then it's silver, then gold, like that. So somebody who chants purely, he can purchase the gold. He has to pay his Shraddha is like gold. So he gets more out of the holy name. So like this, very many things in a very attractive, practical way he described. And this Namahatta program itself, the preaching program, was so successful that in a matter of 2 years, he had 500 devotees who were like proper preachers and chanting nicely and, following everything properly. And all alone, he, got all this done by himself. And he had an army of course, many leaders also were, visiting and giving association to people, just like the modern Bhakti Vriksha program, where everyone is connected, right from the junior most, a new person who's coming, right to the person who's managing a place. Everybody is connected because everybody has got their role to play. And so it was all integrated, cooperative thing, started by his Divine Grace, Bhaktivinoda Thakura. And so we owe a lot. We need his mercy. We need his blessings to continue with congregational preaching. And there was a very good prophecy he gave. He said that in the future, Krishna consciousness will spread all over the world through this program only, this congregational preaching. Because it very easily it goes, because people come to the temple and go away. They don't learn much. They just enjoy there. But someone has to, it happens by someone taking care of you and helping you in your Krishna consciousness. So it has to happen. Home programs can spread very nicely. So that was his prediction. So we really need his mercy and blessings. And he has written so many books, and we can never forget him. Every day we sing songs written by him. Kiba Jaya, then what else? Yashomati Nandana, and Jai Radha Madhav. So many songs written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and very, very beautiful words as well as meaning. Jeev Jago, like that. So many beautiful songs with wonderful Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu. No, that is not Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So, and his writings are very simple. I mean, full of emotions, full of bhakti, just soaked in bhakti. And so humble also. He took his initiation from Vipin Bihari Prabhu. He was in line in the Vaishnava Sampradaya, but not very advanced. But those days, there were hardly any Vaishnavas. So he had to take initiation from a guru, from someone coming in the parampara. So he took from him. But he didn't get, I mean, he is such an exalted person. And Vipin Vihari Prabhu was an ordinary, normal person. But so later what happened was he met Jagannath Das Babaji, who was very, very exalted, and they used to discuss so many things and all. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur thought that he is my Siksha Guru, and so he took him as the Guru, and that's why in the parampara photo we have Jagannath Das Babaji and not Vipin Bihari Prabhu. Because of his advancement in Krishna consciousness. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, towards the end of his life, he took up Babaji, this thing. He became a Babaji. Until then, he was a family person. In the last few years, he and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, when we go there to Mayapur, we see in Surabhi Kunj, right? There, his house is there, which is called Swananda Sukhada Kunja. And there are only, 2 rooms, or in the same, 2 rooms with only 2 beds. One, his bed, and Sai Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. The family stayed nearby. And these 2 for their meditation, bhajana and all that, he was staying there towards the end of his life. And one day when he was standing there in his house in the first floor from the balcony, he saw in a distance, he had a vision, and that a big, huge temple would come up, which is actually a temple of Vedic planetarium. He was seeing that. And he also predicted that, he said that, when will the day come when all Russians, Germans, French, English, all would come here and sing along with our Bengali devotees, Jai Sachinandan, Jai Sachinandan. That was his dream, and it happened. And Prabhupada said that Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he wrote in the year 1896, he sent something on Lord Chaitanya, not teachings, precepts. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his life and precepts. That was the name of the book that he wrote. And he sent it to many universities, especially he mentions they saw it in McGill University, later on in Canada. Some of the devotees saw that book, so they know he had sent it in that year. Of course, all over the world, he sent his books on Lord Chaitanya. And Prabhupada said that in the same year that he sent the book there, Prabhupada was born. So he saw a kind of a mystical connection that, for spreading the Krishna consciousness. The same year as Bhaktivinoda Thakur just embarked on that. So, like that, he is, he had predicted so many things. And he also predicted that in the future, there will be a very great preacher who will come and who will take this Krishna consciousness all over the world. That also prediction he had done. So, as we stop, completely absorb ourselves, of course, studying Prabhupada's books, that should never stop. We should go deeper and deeper and deeper, because every time you read, you get new insights into Prabhupada's books. But also, once we have got a good foundation, then we can start reading all our Acharya's books. And one very important Acharya's books we should read is Bhaktivinoda Thakura. And even now, I say you can study books like Jaiva Dharma and all that, because it gives many insights into, Krishna consciousness, like that. So we are very indebted to him and very favorite Acharya for us, who's so compassionate. He was very compassionate. What any Leela in which he showed his compassion? Um, okay, I don't remember now.
Hare
Yes.
Sharanagadi or something, Gita Bali. He wrote
Those
some.
are his books. Yes. Sharanagati is the songs. Yes, those are all his songs. No. Yeah, I'm saying about, or maybe I just felt he's compassionate from his songs and poems and all that.
Yeah.
Very compassionate. No, I was wondering if there was any
we
Leela.
came Bangalore for entrance exam for my daughter, and that day itself, Bhaktivinoda Tagore, this appearance day or disappearance day, you spoke about 1 hour, more than 1 hour about him. That is still I am remembering in congregation.
Yeah, if I'd prepared, then you can go for hours. But now I didn't even know actually. Abhi Prabhu only told her very bad. Nobody announced this in our yatra. So that's why out of memory something I'm saying he's really so. You saw the seventh Goswami written by Satyaraj Prabhu in ISKCON. It's got a lot of details about him, about his life. And he's very important for us. I'm so grateful. Thank you, Avyay Prabhu. If I'd missed this day, I would have not forgiven myself. So thank you for reminding us and, that we can think about him and get all his mercy. Yeah, I
Mataji, I
suppose
must be grateful and thankful to you for this such a nectarian summary. I was also not knowing. Kirtimati told me that tomorrow we have to fast till afternoon, and I was asking what is the reason. Then she told me that this two disappearance days. So I thought I'll reach you out and have your mercy to enlighten us. So thank you very much, Mataji.
thank you. I think Bhaktivinoda Thakur himself has been merciful to us by reminding through you. It is great mercy. I think it's only by reading his books we can understand how compassionate he is, how full of feelings. And in one of his songs, he says, Gopinath, Mama Nivedana Suno. So he's saying, he's telling all about himself. Oh, I'm so fallen. Please give me your shelter and all that. And in the last verse, he says, Asura Sakala Pailo Sharana, Vinoda Takilo Bosi. It says that all asuras also have got your shelter because they got liberated. Putana went, she's become a mother over there. But only Bhakti Vinod is sitting here. So, such wonderful songs of devotion, you melt our hearts. And the songs, also his preaching, so much compassion for us, how to, different ways. He is trying to see how to reach to us and make Krishna consciousness. His English is so beautiful and very simple to understand, not like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He wrote for another reason, like that bombastic English too, because the British snobbish people, just to impress them, that see, don't think the Vaishnavas are nothing. We are all, we are very erudite and like that to impress them. Otherwise, Bhakti Siddhanta, huh?
Mataji, Jeev Jago, Jeev Jago, Jeev Jago, that is. And
Yes.
then so many songs. Bogardi.
Yes.
Buliya Tomare. That's what you sang now. Buliya tumare. That song.
Yeah, so many.
Veda, that is Gauraradi. Gurudev Boro Kripa Puri.
Kripa Bindu Diya, is it? That is
Or I am searching from Google. I also don't know.
the Vaishnava Acharya song book, if you take, then you'll.
ISKCON
Yashomati
disciple.
Nandana, all that.
Yeah, Yashomati Nandana. Nadiya Godrumi.
That is the most beautiful song.
Yeah. Radha Krishna Bolo, Radha Gunda Tada Kunja Kudir. That song and all I don't know. Shuddha Bhakati Charana Renu.
That song, he is the one who said, okay, first he is described in that song all how
Any
to become
song
a
you
pure
please
devotee.
sing, Mataji, you are beautifully singing. Any song you please sing and give meaning for us. Vaishnava song. Vibhavari Shesha. So many are there. Shuddha Bhakta Charana Renu.
Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu, you take the dust of the lotus feet of Shuddha Bhakata, then Bhajana Anukula. That is what is very this thing for Bhajana. And then it also is Madhavatiti Bhakti Janani. Madhavatiti is Ekadashi. That is the beginning of our Bhakti Janani. She's the mother of Bhakti. Like this, so beautifully is described. And in the end, he says, I Yedina Jani Grihete Goloka Bhaya. He says that by doing all this bhakti, finally what happened? He could see Goloka in his own house. He had a vision of Goloka appearing in his house. He saw Radha Krishna, gopis, everything. Like that, amazing, that song. Okay.
Yeah, you may sing, Mataji.
No, someone else can also sing. They want. Anybody would like to sing?
I shared that this all songs, one link. It is not, we cannot copy paste.
Hare Krishna Mataji Dandatana. Mataji, which bhajan Mataji?
क्या?
Which bhajan? कौन सा?
नहीं, भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर का.
कौन सा भजन Mataji?
Well, you sent a link, maybe okay. We can sing Shuddha Bhakata Paranarenu. And even Radha Krishna Pranamura Jugala Kishore. No, that is Bhakti Vinod Thakur or no?
Bhajahure Mana.
Bhajahure Mana, correct.
Bhajahure Mana Sri Nandana.
Yes.
Malini Mataji.
Yes.
Bhajahure Mana
Sri Nandana. Madaji can very nicely. That is she has the full mode of devotion.
Yeah. Mataji, once I don't know actually Gurudev Kipa Bindu Diya, this much sweet. She came in Avadharideshan, sang for one day, one Guru. After that only I attached that song. Gurudev Kipa Bindu Diya. That is Padmini Maji.
Madaji only taught us all the songs. Madaji is singing very nicely and with the full
of. I know that.
Yeah.
Actually, this Gopinath. Okay, we'll do it at the end.
Okay.
Isn't it? Because then we'll, okay. So then, then he took Babaji sannyas. And at that time, he was just sitting and chanting. Then finally, in his samadhi, in his bhajan kutir, and then he, of course, left. Left this world. Of course, there's a samadhi of Bhakti Vinod Thakur in in his house, isn't it? In the Swananda Sukhada Kunj. That's got his samadhi, isn't it? Where is this Samadhi? Bhaktivinoda Thakur's. Or where is the Samadhi of Bhaktivinoda Thakur?
Hare Krishna, Mati, next to Srinivas Sangha, no? Srivas Sangha.
Next to Shiva Sangha.
There is Shamakund also. Shamakund also.
Oh, that is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
No. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati next to that.
Is it? Okay.
Ah.
Okay. So let us take shelter of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and, pray for his blessings. Okay. I think the best, this thing, two of my favorites is Gopinath and this thing, Shuddha Bhakta. Shuddha Bhakta, because it talks about the different, this thing. And Gopinath, because of the depth of bhava. So we'll do that. So because in the same, when we remember him, we'll finish it. The meaning, Gopinath, Mama Nivedana Suno. Oh. Gopinath, O Lord of the Gopis, please hear my request. I'm a wicked materialist, always addicted to worldly desires, and no good qualities do I possess. O Gopinath, you're my only hope, and therefore I've taken shelter at your lotus feet. I'm now your eternal servant. O Gopinath, how will you purify me? I do not know what devotion is, and my materialistic mind is absorbed in fruitive work. I've fallen into this dark and perilous worldly existence. O Gopinath, everything here is your illusory energy. I have no strength or transcendental knowledge, and this body of mine is not independent and free from the control of material nature. O Gopinath, the sinner who's weeping and weeping, begs for an eternal place at your divine feet. Please give me your mercy. O Gopinath, you're able to do anything, and therefore you have the power to deliver all sinners. Who is there that is more of a sinner than myself? O Gopinath, you're the ocean of mercy. Having come into this phenomenal world, you expand your divine pastimes for the sake of the fallen souls. O Gopinath, I'm so sinful that although all the demons attained your lotus feet, Bhaktivinoda has remained in worldly existence. So, such deep devotion and humility. Okay, we'll just see this song because it's very, very touching. Gopinath, Gopinath, Mama Nivedana Suno, Vishai Durjana, Sada Kamarata, Kichu nahi mora guna. Gopinath, Gopinath, Amara Bharasa Tumi, Tomara Charane, Loinu Sharana, Tomara Kinkora Ami, Gopinath, Gopinath, Kemone Shodhibe More, Na jani bakati, कर्मे झडमती पोरेची संसारा गोरे गोपीनाथ गोपीनाथ सकली तोमारा माया नाही मम भला ज्ञान सो निर्मला स्वाधीना नाहे काया Gopinath, Gopinath, Niyat Charani Sthana, Mage Pamara, Kandhiya Kandhiya, Korohe Karuna Dana, Gopinath, Gopinath, তুমি তো সকলি পারো দুর্জনে তারিতে তোমারা শক্তি কে আছে পাপীরা আরো গোপীনাথ গোপীনাথ তুমি কৃপা পারা ভারা জীবের কারণে আসিয়া প্রপঞ্চে লীলা কইলে সুবিস্তারা গোপীনাথ গোপীনাথ আমি কি দোষে দোষী আসুরা সকল পাইলো চরণ विनोदाता किलो भोसी गोपीनाथ गोपीनाथ. I always like this song because it brings out Bhakti Vinod Thakur's, that the compassion for us. He's speaking on behalf of us, and to what extent he really feels himself very, very fallen, and how Krishna alone can deliver. And I'm so get a glimpse of his deep humility and emotions and compassion. Amazing personality. In fact, this what's his name? That Prabhu Yamuna Devi's husband. What is that? What Swami? Yamuna's husband. Yeah. So anyway, Yamuna Devi's husband, he was first, so he was one day going with Prabhupada, and he told Prabhupada, Prabhupada, next to your books, actually he was very attached to reading Bhaktivinoda Thakur's books. But he told Prabhupada, second to your books, I really like reading Bhaktivinoda Thakur's books. Prabhupada said, second? Why second? He is the first, he said. So like that, Prabhupada was also glorifying Bhaktivinoda Thakur's writings. Okay. So now then we see Gadadhar Pandit is, of course, is Radharani herself, and in the Panchatattva, and she is in the mood of a very, very soft. She's not like Radharani is, like Rukmini. Her nature is like that, very soft. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in the mood of Radharani, very, very, very dynamic and expressive in her emotions and all that. And the other aspect of Radharani's expansion as a very soft and very, very quiet and timid person, that is like Rukmini. So Gadadhar Pandit was like that. And he would...
Mataji Gauradasa, Yamuna Devi's husband.
Gurudas.
Gurudas.
Yes, Gurudas. Yes, he only said. So Prabhupada asked second. Why second? He said, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is so wonderful. He said he writes is very. And so this, what were you saying? Gadadhar Das. He was a classmate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they would go to school and all together. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu afterwards, he was starting the Sankirtan movement. He went and took initiation and came. That time he was very, very emotional. And many times, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will just be falling down and crying in ecstasy and saying, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Everybody was asking, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? And so nobody could restrain him. And he would just, all the time crying, falling down and all that. So Gadadhar Pandit, he came home and he was asking him, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? So Gadadhar Pandit said, Krishna is inside your heart. Oh, he's inside my heart. Then I want Krishna. And then he was going to tear his heart. And then Gadadhar Pandit restrained him and calmed him down. And so Mother Sachi was very happy oh, he is the only one who's able to control Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he told, you please be always with him. So Gadadhar Pandit was always an associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu everywhere. So much so that even when they went to Puri, he took sannyas and Gadadhar Pandit was there. Actually, because he was always with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he could never leave his company. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in this mood of viraha, constantly of thinking in separation from Radharani. And so what he did was, one day as he was sitting there, he, from underneath the ground, he just dug up and then he took out this huge deity of Tota Gopinath and he gave it to Gadadhar. You start worshipping him. So he was sort of grounded over there because otherwise it was affecting the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because he was in this mood of crying out for Krishna. And Gadadhar Pandit was in the mood of Radharani, who was, attached to Krishna. So he kept him busy there and he gave him this huge deity of Gopinath, who is now in a sitting position just for Gadadhar Pandit's sake. So like this, he really took care and he took Kshetra Sannyas that I will never leave Jagannath Puri and I'll always serve the deity. And so once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was leaving and going to Vrindavan, and Gadadhar Pandit was following him. And after some time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Gadadhar, you've taken Kshetra Sannyas, so you go back. He said, I don't care about my vows. I just want to come with you. I want to serve you. And he was following him. And then when they came, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu kept quiet. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, see, if you don't follow your vow, I will be, I'll have to take the reaction for it. So then Gadadhar Pandit said, you're not responsible for it because I'm coming on my own. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu kept walking and he was following behind. And then when they came near the river's edge and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entered a boat to be cross the river. That time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, you're not coming, you stay there. And Gadadhar Pandit just fainted over there and, the devotees took him back. So, and Gadadhar Pandit was always so ecstatic that every day he would read Srimad Bhagavatam. And when he was reading Bhagavatam, tears would come out of his eyes like torrents, not just little dry. For us, one drop, 2 drops, they come. For him, not for Bhagavatam. Generally, when we cry a little bit, not so many tears come. But Gadadhar Pandit, his is just pouring out. And so all the ink in his, Bhagavatam, which was written in a leaf, everything was washed off. So much, this thing, emotions for Bhagavatam. Once Guru Maharaj, as the trustee of Bhaktivedanta Book Trust, he was telling that, when our devotees become so much involved in Bhagavatam and they start crying a lot, and then, so that the paper doesn't get, wet and soggy. So that time we can print books which are waterproof. He was making joke because when will they become like Gadadhar Pandit crying for Bhagavatam? So it was like that. And he with Tota Gopinath, actually he was not very old, same age as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And 48. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left this world when he was 48 years old. And when he left, and Gadadhar Pandit was asked to stay back, he said, you're not going to come back because there are some more people who are coming. Somebody should be there, otherwise suddenly all of us leave. So you stay here. And Gadadhar Pandit, after that, he became very, very, dispirited without Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because every day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will come and listen to the Bhagavatam being recited by Gadadhar Pandit. And after that, he became very weak. Imagine, he is just 48 years old. You don't become very, very weak and old. And, he was so bent that he could not reach up and even put the mala over this Tota Gopinath. So one day he was telling the Lord, oh, I'm not able to worship you properly. I'm not even able to stand up and put garland for you and all that. So Tota Gopinath, next day he went into the temple and he saw that the Lord had sat down. The deity sat down. And so we can see that how he is in a sitting position. He is very tall, 6 foot deity, and now he is sitting so that Gadadhar Pandit could, you know, worship him easily. And what else? He was, of course, earlier initially he was a brahmachari. I mean, he was always a brahmachari. He didn't get married, very strict brahmachari. And once Mukunda Datta, he took him to meet his future guru, was Pundarik Vidyanidhi. Pundarik Vidyanidhi, he had just come from East Bengal. Nobody knew him. None of the Vaishnavas knew him. And he was a rich landlord and all that. But Mukunda knew him because he's from the same village. So he told Gadadhar, I'll take you to meet a very fantastic Vaishnava. And Gadadhar was always very eager to meet Vaishnava. So he went with him. And so then when he went, but he saw this, what is this? He's Pundrik Vidyanidhi was sitting on a big asan and very rich, I mean, is wearing all silk clothes and a nice turban, and his hair was all nicely oiled and a lot of perfume coming from him. And the whole room was all decorated with very nice curtains and, all kinds of sofas and decorative items. And he was sitting on the asan and people were fanning him, pressing his legs. And then he thought, what kind of Vaishnava is this? He seems to be a sense gratifier. That's what Gadadhar thought. And Mukunda could guess his thoughts. So what he did, he sang a beautiful song about how Putana, how Krishna is so kind that even to Putana, who actually tried to murder him, he elevated her to the mother status in the spiritual world. So that was the song. And the minute he heard that song, that Pundarika Vidyanidhi went into ecstasy and he fell down from that huge asan. He fell down on the floor and he started rolling and he started tearing all his clothes and tearing all the cushions, throwing out all the decorative items. Oh, Krishna, Krishna, where are you? Where are you? And he was like, he thought he's very attached to everything, his clothes, his finery, and all the, all the house items and all that. But he didn't care at all. He was just tearing and throwing and becoming crazy. And then Gadadhar Pandit thought, I created a big offense. He's such a great, exalted Vaishnav. And I thought wrong of him. So he didn't know what to do. How will I get forgiveness from such a person? I mean, because he had really thought bad of him. And then he decided, okay, let me go and ask the permission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu if I can accept him as my guru. A guru is always very forgiving to his disciples unless he does something really bad, Guru Drohi or something, he says bad things about him. Or other than that, so many offenses we keep committing and Guru is always forgiving. So I'll take him as the Guru, he thought. He went and asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he said, very good, you should take from him because in the previous, this thing, he's Vrishabhanu and your Radharani is your father. So you must take from him. So like this, Gadadhar Pandit took from Pundrik Vidyanidhi. And many pastimes, Gadadhar Pandit and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu walking along the river Ganga, going to school and coming back. And once Guru Maharaj always talks about that parrot, right? There is a parrot, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him, "Oh, this is Sukha, Sukadev Goswami. Sukha is here. Sukha, you tell me, glorify the Supreme Lord, chant the names of Krishna." And the Sukha, he started saying, Gaura, 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 Gaura. I mean, how does it begin? I mean, like, anyone remembers, like, he sees the parrot And he asks the parrot, right, glorify Krishna's name. And the Sukha starts this thing, chanting, Gaura, 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 Gaura. And he says, oh, no, chant Radha and Krishna's names. And the parrot keeps on saying, Gaura, Gaura. So that's a nice pastime along with Gadadhar Pandit that they had. So Gadadhar Pandit, of course, he was there after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, and then he left the world. And Srinivas Acharya also came, and that's but he wanted to learn Bhagavatam from him. And Gadadhar Pandit said that you see my Bhagavatam, all the text is all washed off. You go write fresh and come. And Srinivas Acharya went to Bengal to write and come. By the time he came, Gadadhar Pandit had left this world. So that is, Radharani. And when the Panchatattva is so important for our spiritual advancement, every day we have to worship each of these personalities and beg them. Very quick, we can make progress only by their mercy. And so Gadadhar Pandit is very, very important in the Panchatattva, and to give us mercy, the energy of Lord Krishna is very attached to his energies, right? Very dear to him. And so take shelter of Gadadhar Pandit. Okay, Gadadhar Pandit ki jai, Radharani ki jai. Okay, today we didn't do Chaitanya Charitamrita. I knew that because both these personalities are very, very important for us and very nectarian personalities.
Thank you very much, Mataji, for this nectarian enlightening summary. Very grateful to you. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Mataji, very much, Mataji. Mataji, I have a question, Mataji. I can ask now, no, Mataji?
Huh? What?
I have a question, Mataji. I can ask now, Mataji.
Yes. Nice.
Okay, Mataji, it's in the chat box, Mataji. The question is there.
Chat box. Wait. Why we can't remember all the words, whatever we are listening? Words or message?
Yeah, Mataji, message like I am listening Bhagavatam, your class, Mataji. So why I can't remember all the things, Mataji?
That is why you should keep a notebook and write down points. So then you'll remember, and you should also tell it to somebody. Then it will stay in your mind. Always, just listening and Shravanam and Kirtanam. Both are required. If we have to remember, write it down, Shravanam, and write it down, and then you tell it to somebody else. All the points, or when you start preaching. And then that is why preaching is so important. If you don't preach, you will forget. But if you're also telling others, then it will stay in our mind. We need to, for our own purification, we need to preach. So do that. Now you take down, and then when you start preaching, you can share this with others. Or even now you can, with somebody.
Yes, Mataji, got it, Mataji.
Oh, what does it say? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, Mataji, I am hearing, but what is happening, Mataji? Yes.
But how come I'm not on Zoom now? Am I on Zoom?
Yeah, you are in the Zoom, Mataji. But you are not saying, Mataji.
Something wrong with this. Okay.
Yeah, something is going on. Like I think screen share is going on. Your screen share.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions? Comments?
No, Mataji, only that. Mataji, today in Gosala, it's so much crowd, Mataji.